got actually Danielle Smith talking about, we've got a video here from her, if I'm reading this correctly. Yes. So this is her announcing the Alberta Next panel. I think the press conference is this afternoon. But here is our very popular premier announcing the next fight against Mark Carney.
Alberta, our home. Pristine mountains and lakes, wide open pastures and fertile fields, unmatched natural resources, world-class cities, world-class people. Alberta truly has it all. We are a strong and free people, full of entrepreneurs, food producers, builders, caregivers, teachers, and a whole lot of hardworking, tough as nails, get her done grit. Our potential is as limitless as our skies. But let's face it, Alberta is being held back. Our economy has been under attack for most of the last 10 years. Frankly, off and on for decades long before then. Not by a foreign country or by world economic forces. No, Alberta's biggest threat to our prosperity and growth has come from our own nation's capital. Alberta has an Ottawa problem.
Ooh.
For the last 10 years, Ottawa, led by successive Liberal governments propped up by their NDP allies, have taken direct aim at Alberta's core industries. Ottawa's Bill C-69 killed several major Alberta pipeline and resource projects. Their West Coast tanker ban specifically blocks Alberta oil from accessing world markets. Their excessive industrial carbon taxes and the new oil and gas emissions cap are designed to keep our world-class oil and gas reserves in the ground. And net zero mandates on everything from electricity to vehicles are causing the cost of living to increase, business costs to soar, and are even endangering the stability of our power grid in the dead of winter. And the effects on Alberta's economy have been staggering. In just the last 10 years alone, more than $500 billion, that's $500 billion, in global investment capital destined for our resource sector has disappeared. It walked away from Alberta and Canada, and instead headed off to Texas, Asia, and the Middle East, to places that welcome resource development and jobs.
1/8 our size.
That cost Alberta and Canada quite literally hundreds of billions in GDP, corporate taxes and resource royalties for healthcare, education, and public infrastructure. It cost hundreds of thousands of jobs and thousands of healthy and growing businesses. It was national self-harm on a level never seen. And no province was hurt more than ours. And those costs keep building every single day. But we're not just losing investment, we're losing trust. As I said, this story is bigger than just the last decade. Alberta has been treated unfairly for decades long before that. We've built roads, rail, power, jobs, and prosperity for this country. Yet we've been told to keep quiet and be grateful while sending $20 billion a year more to Ottawa than we receive back in funding each year. In fact, since 1980, Alberta has contributed $653 billion more to federal taxes than we receive back. That means well over $500 billion went directly from Alberta to fund other provinces, mostly with economies larger than ours, through programs, transfers, and equalization. And despite this, we have continued to be the economic engine and job-creating juggernaut of this country, and have opened our province to those from every corner of Canada looking for work and opportunity. And when we point out these facts, how do Ottawa politicians and Eastern elites respond? Our concerns are dismissed, our values marginalized, our leaders vilified, and our industries remain targeted.
Oh my God.
Most Albertans are or want to be proud Canadians. We've fought for this country, fed this country, and powered this country. But the status quo relationship with Canada cannot continue. It's time for Alberta to take a stand, with ideas, with facts, with our voices, and with action. If Canada is to be a strong and unified country, it must include a strong and sovereign Alberta, able to pursue our own potential without being held back by our own country. That's why we're launching the Alberta Next Panel, a province-wide series of in-person and virtual town halls where your voice, your ideas, and your values will help shape Alberta's road ahead. The Alberta Next Panel gives you a seat at the table to speak directly with industry and government leaders, constitutional scholars, and policy experts to explore ideas for Alberta to assert our constitutional rights to prosper and become an equal partner in Confederation, and to discuss how we can protect Alberta from outside economic attacks going forward. And when the panel has finished its work, it will recommend which ideas should be put to the people of Alberta for a referendum vote in 2026. Now, I know these can be tough and emotional conversations, and that's okay. We are Albertans. We can have hard conversations and share our ideas and opinions respectfully, and stay good friends and neighbors while doing so. Because really, the vast majority of Albertans, regardless of their politics or backgrounds, all want the same thing. We want to live in a country that works for us, not against us. It's about building an Alberta that is strong, free, and sovereign within a united Canada that respects and empowers our province to achieve our full potential. And that's why I need your help, because the best ideas don't come from government, they come from you. From the shop floor,
Oh,
the field,
just
the
gorgeous.
classroom, the boardroom. Albertans are doers, builders, problem solvers. And we've had enough of waiting for someone else's permission to turn that energy into even more prosperity for our province. That's why we need to take the next step. Alberta Next is about doing just that. It's about asking, what else can we do? Where else can we lead? What powers can we assert that are already ours? It's time to explore every option and to pursue every good solution. So what comes next? That's up to you. Join us this summer in your community or online. Register, show up, be heard, so our beautiful Alberta can remain forever strong and free.
I am shook. I am absolutely shook by that. Danielle Smith, goddamn, did you knock that out of the park? I've never heard anything so gorgeous in my entire life as that.
Yep.
We are actively listening to the people of Alberta. We are going to hear what you want, and we're going to move those things forward. I mean, this is what every politician in the country should be doing on a permanent basis all the time. That was so perfect. The tone was just lovely. The way that she detailed the way Alberta has been abused for decades by the federal government, the way that Alberta has a path forward and is going to explore every option, just gorgeous. Oh, Danielle Smith, you absolute beauty, like just perfect.
And, you know, they have to do this. They have to do this because they cannot ever have it said, we didn't try everything, right? And this is in stark contrast to Jason Kenney's strongly worded letters to a guy who testified at the Public Order Emergency Commission that he doesn't actually read anything. So
well, it's also, I have to say, as a Saskie, as a lifelong Saskie and forever Saskie, this is also in stark contrast to the government of Saskatchewan, which is just putting out Facebook posts about building permits. Oh, we're number one in the nation for building permits. I mean, it's crazy, the discrepancy between the two governments. I would like to see the government of Saskatchewan to doing something very, very similar, walking in lockstep with Alberta, because we know that what Alberta does, so too should Saskatchewan. We are best friends and sisters. We should be doing this together, and seeing nothing out of the government of Saskatchewan is just profoundly disappointing. Profoundly disappointing.
Right. We're like my eyebrows. We're not identical, you know.
Sisters not twins. Sisters not twins. That's the rule for eyebrows and provinces.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we do belong together, and we should be doing similar things like this in Saskatchewan, and I'm just not seeing it. And it's so disappointing.
Well, and there's power in numbers, right? Like Danielle Smith has come out swinging, basically saying this is the last ditch effort to save Confederation from Ottawa. Like they're trying to save the country from itself right now. That's what she's trying to do. And she's saying these are our list of demands. If they are not met, these people will vote to leave. That basically she's letting us submit our list of demands and then taking our list of demands to the boss. And if he says, well, we're not doing these, that's it. That's it.
but she's gone so much further than any other politician
Yep.
or government at any point before her by putting a timeline on it. If you guys do not comply with our demands, we're not asking, we're telling. Okay. This is the
Yep.
difference between Danielle Smith. She's not asking, she's not writing strongly worded letters to the government saying, oh,
Right.
please stop abusing us. Please stop being awful to us. Please start treating us like a partner and a cherished part of Confederation. She's
Beloved.
saying, we are identifying that you've treated us badly. Here's our list of demands, and this is the end date. And if you do not comply, then the people of Alberta will have their say, and you might have to live without us. And I think that should strike fear into the hearts of every single person east of Manitoba, and including the government of Saskatchewan, because the last thing they need is to look slow and lazy. Slow and lazy. We're sisters. We are as entrepreneurial. We have the hustle. We have the Western culture.
Mhm.
We should not be letting moss grow on this rolling stone.
Yeah,
No.
and at the end of the day, the feds will not be able to say, well, we weren't sure what they wanted from us.
Right.
You know?
Right. And I think we have to, like, I think that she's being very prudent in that she's making specific demands. She's not saying, give us a proposal with your best guesses as to what we want. She's actively telling them what the people of Alberta are expecting of the government, and if the federal government doesn't deliver, ooh, they're going to have a sticky situation on their hands. Because yeah, if Alberta goes, Saskatchewan goes. That's just the way it is. The people of Saskatchewan are not going to be left holding the bag, and
Yeah.
nor do we want to. If Alberta pieces out, Saskatchewan resources and producers and our industries and our sectors are not going to be able to make up for the shortfall, and
Yeah.
nor should we. We will be the number one slaves of Confederation, and we don't
Mhm.
want that. We want to go with Alberta. Yeah,
And
hand in hand.
I think if we go, it will fracture BC in two.
I do too. I do
Yeah.
too. The northern and interior parts of BC, and same goes for Manitoba. The rural and northern parts of Manitoba are uh, are going to come with us. They're not going to want to go with the east. They're not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're the first domino to fall. We would be like Poland
Right.
when the Eastern Bloc fell. And there's a way for the feds to stop it. They just have to listen to us and get out of our way. It's actually quite a simple formula. Shut up and get out of our way. And I think that they are not going to do those two things.
They're too entitled, and they're too elitist, and they're too entrenched in the ways that they can abuse the West without any consequences whatsoever. I mean, add to the list that Danielle Smith is talking about: electoral reform, judicial reform, Senate reform, education reform, health reform. When you
Energy
think of that,
policy,
oh sure,
yeah,
oh that's first
a
and
given.
foremost, right?
Yeah.
Because this is the driver of all of the industries on the prairies. But when you think about it in terms of how much would have to be fixed for the people of the West, well, it almost seems easier to just create it for ourselves.
Also,
Thank you
she
very
hit on
much.
something there that there's no trust anymore. So that
Oh
even if the
yes.
feds agreed to do these things, do we trust them to keep their word?
Oh,
Uh,
that it's such a good point. It is such a good point because we've been offered concessions before that the
right.
federal government has turned around, created a new set of policies or regulations or whatever, put up the gatekeepers of policy where we've seen some of the things that we've wanted being offered and then immediately rescinded once the next election cycle comes around or once the next news cycle comes around, for God's sakes. So do we trust what Ottawa is going to offer us? No, we don't, to be
Well, and
honest.
even when we try to show them this is what we want, this is what we've chosen, all you have to do is enact it, they smack us back down and
Well, because yep,
impose their will on us. I'll give you a good
yep,
example of this. We actually have two Alberta senators in waiting. We elect our senators in Alberta,
you
and
get to pick them.
we get to pick them. They're on the ballot. And the convention was, and this was to save the country the drama of opening up the Constitution. The convention was Alberta elects their senators And when an opening comes up for a senator in Alberta, they will be appointed by the government of the day.
And guess what happened?
Guess what happened?
Guess Canada.
Mike Shake was chosen by the people of Alberta, and he is still a senator in waiting. Justin Trudeau chose
Christopher Wells.
No, Paula
Oh.
Simons first. Paula Simons of the Edmonton Journal, who strongly aligned herself with Justin Trudeau's censorship stuff, which was an odd choice for a journalist. And the Edmonton Journal actually won a Pulitzer Prize way back in the day for fighting with Bill Aberhart's government, which required newspapers in the province at the time to publish government rebuttals of critical stories of them, and that violated journalistic freedom. They beat the Aberhart government in court, and they won a Pulitzer Prize for that. That's her legacy that she burned to the ground of her former employer. And then we elected Erica Barutz. And then, so a young Alberta conservative woman, her politics are wrong, but her gender was right, according to the Liberals, who care about gender parity in all things. And instead, they chose a radical sex activist professor,
Christopher Wells.
Christopher Wells,
just
against the will of the people. I have never met a man. Sorry, I've never actually met him. I've never seen a man who so dislikes the culture of the people he represents as Christopher Wells,
and is
yet
so
chosen.
insanely left-wing as this man. He is a radical gender
Senate
activist.
bio.
And this is a senator that they appointed for Alberta. No, when we tell them what we want, they basically tell us, you're not smart enough to know. You guys are just, you're not refined enough. You're not elite enough. We are going to tell you what's good for you, and you're going to take it because there is no recourse. And this is what Westerners are tired of. We are tired of being told what's good for us. We're tired of being told what to do and how we're going to suffer under the very, very heavy hand of the federal government. This is what we're tired of, and this is why we want out.
And the reason I brought that up is that's an example of Alberta doing its best to work within Confederation with the government. And they just looked at us and said, we're not doing that.
You guys, it's
so
cute. It's so cute that you think you know what's good for you. Just listen to the federal government. Just listen. If you would only just do what we wanted, send us all your money, and then suffer, well, then we would be happy. And that's what the federal government expects from the West. It is insane. It is insane. And they wonder why we want to leave. They wonder. It's an honest question in their head. Talking to Carla Treadway last night was extraordinarily illuminating for several reasons, not the least of which because she detailed sort of what the overarching opinions are of the people of Ontario and the Laurentian elites. And basically what she said was, they don't know how much money you're sending. And Danielle Smith's video, did that make it obvious? Yep. $500 billion? $500 billion has hemorrhaged out of the West to the East to pay for all of their fancy social programs, all the pride parades, all of the crazy climate garbage and the greenwashing. $500 billion? Alberta, do you know how rich you would be with $500 billion in your back pocket right now? Do you know how well off the people of Alberta would be keeping that money in your pocket? I mean, the question just writes itself. Do we want to stay part of this or no? And I mean, watching that video, how could you? How could you? It's an invitation for abuse to stay within Confederation.
Right. I mean, when you couple the outgoing money to Confederation, but also the investment they've denied us, it's like $1 trillion out of Alberta.
Insane.
And that doesn't include, revenues to the government, like income tax on all the jobs that didn't come to fruition. That's just economic investment on projects and then outgoing money in transfer payments.
Right.
I also thought it was kind of cute that Carla didn't know just how young the makeup of the Conservative Party is in Alberta. She was excited to see Tara Sawyer, who's a young Conservative, take the old Didsbury Three Hills riding. And I thought, that's a very Ontario perspective, because we have a ton of young under 40s in the Conservative caucus, including young women. Rebecca Schultz is a
Oh,
minister.
awesome. She's just
Yeah,
awesome. Just a little
Chan
powerhouse. Yeah.
Chantel DeJong also, like we're a different, as I said on the stream last night, we're a different breed of conservative out here. And our young
Yeah.
people, I think, are more aggressively conservative than the older ones, which I find very
Oh,
satisfying.
oh, bring it home, guys. Like bring it home. Love to
Yeah.
see it. Love to see it.